And good afternoon, everybody. How we doing?
Not awake.
Awesome.
We're back.
Slightly, in a new way. I like it.
Bill.
What's up, Bill?
And you guys?
Oh,
Oh wow, we butchered that one. I like it already. This is off to a great start. I am
great.
Arts AA Patchman Patchy.
okay. I'm Reginald, people. How's it going?
And welcome to the Sports Insanity Podcast.
Episode 1.
Yeah, baby.
For those of you who know us, we're back.
And we're actually on video. How about this? We're
moving up in the world.
where people can actually see our faces. Isn't that amazing?
Because for the past couple of years when we were on our old show, you just could hear us and you're thinking, you probably was like, I wonder what these guys look like.
Yeah, probably like.
And now when you see us, you're probably thinking, okay, that's what they look like. Oh, crap, that's what they look like. I'm going back to the audio.
That's why I'm hiding behind the light. I'm trying to find the light that it's at my face, so I'm still incognito.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, for those of you who know us, we're back. For those of you who don't know us, welcome.
Should we give a little history?
What was that?
I said we should probably give a little history behind this.
I was gonna do that. Okay, so
My fault.
this show was started back in initially 2012 when I was with two partners, but unfortunately those partners didn't make it, so I ended up with Patchy here.
One that made it happen.
It was a marriage of convenience.
The savior.
And this was when we were at community college. Him and I went on in March 2013. Is that right, Pat? 2013?
Yeah, beginning of March 2013.
Seems so long ago.
And then, 7 years.
And then in the fall, we met Reg.
Yes, we did.
He just came in.
Heyo.
And he wanted to start his own show, but we invited him on ours, and then he just never left.
I was one that left for a couple seasons.
Then you left for a while, then it was just Reg and I, and then you came back, and then we all went our separate ways.
Parted ways.
We went on to other schools. We transferred, and after 5 years of being, we're back.
We're back.
We're better than ever.
Woo!
Ugh.
So it's the Sports Insanity, when we were at community college, it was the Sports Insanity Hour, so now it's the Sports Insanity Podcast.
Yeah.
Social distancing edition.
Yeah, man.
Don't get me started. I feel like it's been like 5 years since I've seen people.
It's like it's been 5 years since you've seen the outside world, huh?
Oh no, I see the outside world just for like 5 minutes, and then I'm at work for 8 hours. And then I see it for 5 more minutes, and then I'm home, and then I'm inside for 8 hours. And then it's a repeating cycle.
Yeah, so first of all, we hope you're all staying safe during this time of uncertainty. Remember, stay home, save lives.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your damn hands.
I wouldn't say damn hands, just please wash your hand.
Yeah, it's like every time I step outside just to like take a walk or something, I come home, I'm washing my hands like crazy. So anyway, this is a sports podcast, if you couldn't guess by the name by now. Now, we know what you're thinking. There's like no sports on. What are you guys going to talk about? The paint job in Patchy's house?
Well, disrespect the paint job in my house.
What was that?
I don't disrespect the paint job in my house.
It's a very nice paint job, isn't it, Reg?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty good.
Well, it was painted like 15 years ago, so still holding up to this day.
Yeah.
Okay, that's our show. Good night. Nah, I'm just kidding. You glad to have me back, Patch?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we thought, since there are a few things going on in the sports world, we thought we'd go, we thought we'd talk about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The frequency of this show, it's going to be a little weird since there's again, not anything really going on. So I think once sports are back, we'll start doing this more frequently, maybe once a week, but
Right.
we'll work all that out later. Yeah, I think we should begin by talking about the worst thing ever. And you know what that is? Life without sports.
I miss sports, man. You have no
My God.
idea.
This is terrible.
I miss it dearly.
It's like everything came crashing down all at once, and it was literally like all at once. Like NBA did it, and then it was like a domino effect. All these sports leagues and all these college events just gone away, and literally in a day.
The thing is, and you guys can agree or disagree or not on this, we're not going to talk too much about what, because,
Right.
I think people have heard enough about it.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, have you guys heard enough about this already?
Never ending.
I'm still learning from it, to be quite honest with you.
You're still what?
I'm still learning from the virus, to be quite honest with you.
I can't even watch the news anymore. It's driving me crazy.
I don't even watch the news.
There's a lot of things I don't want to watch anymore. A certain man in the Oval Office that we shall not mention.
But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, with this thing, we underestimated it.
We all did.
I didn't.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Patch?
I didn't overestimate it. As soon as I heard it started spreading like wildfire, I'm like, you're going to need everything. Bye. Just gone in the wind.
Well, here's the thing. At first, we just thought, because we were just first thinking, we may get a few cases here and there, but nothing.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I knew that it was going to spread pretty badly. I just didn't think that it would cause a major shutdown of
everything. Of everything.
Cities, you're talking about cities across the country, states across the country that had to have these stay-at-home orders, these social distancing policies. I didn't expect this. I expected it to spread, but but I expected to take measures to at least contain everything so that it doesn't cause this overspread where thousands of people are going to die from it. Well, we knew there was going to be a lot of death in this. That's not what we're saying, but still, I didn't expect.
And of course, our thoughts and prayers are with all those who passed away from this virus. Our thoughts and prayers are with all their families right now.
Absolutely, and it stinks that sports had to sort of take the fall for it, because sports had always been that escape. When 9/11 happened, when Hurricane Katrina happened, when Hurricane Sandy happened, when all these different events happened, shootings, we always had.
We had something to escape to.
In sports, Boston Marathon. That
got canceled.
Always had that. Yeah.
This started with March Madness. That first they were going to have it, but they weren't going to have any fans there. And then so we're just going to axe it. And then the NBA season got suspended, and then the NHL.
The NBA was the first one to actually implement the shutdown. They were just we're suspending the season. We can't. This was after obviously when Rudy Gobert tested positive.
And then
in the city.
Then the NHL, and then the MLB postponed the beginning of their season.
Yeah. I don't think we're getting 120 games at this point. I think we can toss that up.
It's going to be a 75-game short season.
Yeah, it's going to be a very short season.
Okay, so gentlemen, quick question. What do you think is going to be the do you think we're going to have sports again this year? Do you think we might as well just pack it in and wait till next year?
It's It's a tough subject to put out there. Like, okay, there's always talks. Okay, we can start. There's like the MLB rumor, but saying, okay, we're going to start in Florida and Arizona, and teams going to play in the stadiums with no fans. It's like you can do that, but is it be enjoyable? Like, okay, let's talk with no fans. You had that incident a couple of years ago in Baltimore with the riots where the O's, and I forgot who they played, but they played a game with no fans. And I watched that game, and that was just an interesting thing because it was just, you're not hearing no fans cheering on or booing.
Yeah, I know. It's if they do go that route with no fans, it's going to be very depressing.
Well, it's not going to be the same. I heard the Yankee president, Brady Gronk. He had said something the other day where he said, like, sports needs fans. Sports is not anything without the fans. Like, if we're going to reopen sports, we have to do it with the people that support us.
I agree with him, but you know what? I feel like in a time when we need to take these certain measures.
Well, obviously, the reality of the situation is if we're going to start a season, whether it's baseball, whether it's football, if we're still under these circumstances, that's going to have to be the case. We have no choice because people's lives are at stake.
Like, listen, I'm sorry. I love sports, but we got to put the safety of the public as a bigger priority than this.
Yeah, but he's not wrong when he says that the sport
Absolutely
is dependent on the fans. Like, the
Absolutely.
fans make the sport.
Yeah, this whole thing it's nuts. It's freaking nuts. And you know what? Has anyone been seeing that they've been like on ESPN and like Fox Sports? They've been like replaying like old games and old Super Bowls and that. Has anyone seen that?
No.
I loved what ESPN did. They turned, I think it was ESPN 2 into the Ocho, and they played all the wacky sports, which was enjoyable because they've been doing that the past few years, and that's just enjoyable watching like dodgeball, cornhole, darts.
Yeah, I mean they usually do that during the summertime. When they take a day. I think it was sometime in August, and then they play the Ocho, and then they had another go around with that. So that was pretty cool to.
Yeah, but here's the thing when I think about with the cancellation of sports. Like, okay, I think we can admit NBA and NHL, they're done. We can admit that they're done.
Well, we don't know that for sure. I certainly wouldn't.
Well, here's what they could do. Again, I'm not instituting an official policy here. I have no authority. I have no power. I literally have no power.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could, I was hearing Reg confirm or deny this for me. It was either the NBA or the NHL was talking about starting the season in like July, I think. Was it NBA or NHL?
Last time I heard it was NBA.
Like you could start the season in July, have it end in like September. Okay, this has sounded very clunky so far. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, I'm pretty sure they've had all these different types of proposals.
Finish everything, then basically take a few weeks, maybe a month, and then start the whole season again, like November, December. But that would make absolutely no sense.
The calendar's going to be messed up if they ever try to do something like that. In my honest opinion, who cares? Just move on to the next season. If you want to declare a champion, or just don't declare a champion. There have been years.
Or just fix the playoff format.
There's shutdowns to sports, but still, I don't know if right now is the time to have a playoff. I just don't know if it's the time to do it. It's hard enough that baseball has to start their season late. Now you're going to expect basketball to, have all these sports on, basketball and hockey, to restart their seasons from where they left off and then have a playoff. Honestly, I would just rather a gradual movement. Have baseball start off. They'll have a shortened season, which is fine by me, just as long as there's baseball in the regular season and in October. And then have football, go back with it too. And then basketball leads the way. Hockey leads the way before basketball. we can have a gradual turn, but I believe baseball should be the one starting it since it's a regular season.
I'll be
Right
honest.
now,
I think the only
finishing the season for basketball is just I just don't like it. It's just, to me, it's just not a good idea. It's just not a good idea. So much time has passed.
I think the only sport that actually is probably going to start on time is probably football.
There's a slight chance because you have to wait for a lot of things to go down before the NFL can start.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think they're probably the safest because it's later in the year. But again, we don't know. Because I'm sorry this is going on a random thing here, but I know there was a certain movie. It was the movie, the Venom, like the Spider-Man spin-off thing. It was supposed to be released in October. It's now not getting released until next June. So I don't know.
I'm agreeing with Rhett to say what sport's going to start next. Most likely baseball, middle of July, I'm assuming. NBA and the NHL should just move on. Just act season like in '94 when the baseball players strike happened. Just no champion that year. Just do that.
And then just start all over again in the fall.
Be safer. Okay, I'm going to be that upset that Lakers had the best record. I think they had the top record in the West. I haven't been checking because sports, but top in the West. I'm going to be that mad they're not NBA champions if they made it that far. Fans need to look at the bigger picture. It's to stay safer. Okay, there's no champion this year. No big deal.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't need it. Right now, we just don't need it. You don't need to watch a championship being crowned. It's just not something we need right now.
Yeah,
I'd rather be safe than to see a champion crowned.
Yeah, because and with all this, with sports and with human lives,
Patrick, and that's another thing. You have all these cities that aren't willing to reopen any buildings. Bill de Blasio here in New York City, he's not opening a Madison Square Garden. So where the hell are the Knicks going to play?
And like all things throughout June are canceled.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's going to happen, and hopefully next week, if we do this again next week, I have a friend who's actually a writer for Sports Illustrated, and I'll try to maybe see if I can get him on and he can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
A guy who's smarter than us in this department. I'm not saying we're not smart, just
Right.
He's got sources and all that. So yeah, I'll reach out to him, see if he wants to come on next week. Listen, when we were talking about the safe of human lives, Patch, I don't know if you knew this or not, but Reg did, kind of hits home for all of us here on the Sports Insanity podcast because this virus allegedly took someone we knew, and that is, of course, I'm talking about Richard Alburo.
Yeah, we don't really know exactly what happened.
I guess there was a hint because his daughter posted that they weren't going to be holding any services at the time because because of what we wouldn't want what happened to our father to happen to us, which
right.
to happen to anyone else. So I think that is a hint that it was this. I think that's a hint.
Well, I'm just trying not to spread any.
For those of you who are new, Richard was a guy who he came on our show 5 years ago. He was talking about how he was walking from Tampa to Yankee Stadium to raise money for wounded warriors, and
literally walking,
like 1 foot in front of the other, walking. He 1 foot in front of the other. He did it for wounded warriors in honor of his nephew Gary, who unfortunately perished in the 9/11 attacks, and left behind at the time a 1-year-old son. Richard, we had him on in March 2015, and he was just such a great guy.
Oh, tremendous.
Hoot and holler.
What was that, Batch?
A hoot and a holler. Great guy.
Yeah.
was just such a fun guy, and it was really he did such a good thing, and all I have to say is that again, we don't know if it was the virus or not. We don't know, but I think from what they were saying, it's kind of hinting that it was. But again, we can't confirm or deny that.
Yeah, and nor are we in a position to do so.
We're in no position to confirm or deny.
But we do know he was that he was sick, and obviously
allegedly, but from what we're saying, his daughter, that leads a hint. But again, we're not going to confirm that.
Right.
But Richard passed away last month at the age of 70.
Yeah, that's devastating, and for all that he's done in his life, God bless him. God bless his family.
All I gotta say is, it might just sound corny, but heaven's gained a new angel.
Yep.
Rich, we'll miss you. We enjoyed having you on.
Yeah. And a lot of the Yankee
and hope they win it. If we do have a baseball season this year, hopefully the Yankees win it for you.
Yeah, totally. And to update those, he actually did complete the entire walk to the Yankees.
And he walked in, got the first pitch and everything.
It's tremendous.
But
it really is tremendous.
I just want to say before we move on, Rich, first again, Rich, rest in peace. Our thoughts and prayers and condolences go out to Richard's family.
Absolutely.
I actually reached out to his daughter when I got the news, and she was so grateful. I'm not going to read the message for you because I'd like to protect her privacy.
Totally. That's fair.
And also, just one more thing. Richard's family asked in lieu of flowers, donations please be made to the Wounded Warriors.
That's fair.
So
fair enough.
I know this is a really tough time for everybody, but please, if you just have like $1 or $2 to spare, just if you can, I know.
Cause. It's a great cause. Wounded Warriors is a
great cause. So hopefully, again, one more time, rest in peace, Rich. And if they play this year, go Yanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to a lighter subject. NFL draft.
Loving it so far.
I got to admit, it's very strange.
The highlight I found was from the one commercial where Goodell was embracing the robotic booze. That just made me laugh.
Oh my God.
There's a commissioner I can get behind. He's embracing what he misses and showing that he does hear the booze.
I got to admit, though, it's a little strange.
It's definitely a concept, a virtual draft. But it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, this virtual draft is really interesting. I didn't watch the WNBA virtual draft, but I found the concept to be pretty cool. And now that I'm watching the NFL do it, and you see sort of different sides of things. You see all the social distancing going on. You see how they communicate via the internet, via the phone. Which they're already communicating via the phone, but now you're not seeing everything else. You're not seeing the stage where Roger Goodell's announcing the pick on the mic, and you're not seeing the players go up. You're not hearing the boos live. So it's interesting, and seeing all the different angles of it throughout this virtual. It's beyond amazing, to be quite honest with you.
We get to see everybody's basement and awkward office decor.
Basements, living rooms, and many other places, and and I think from this perspective, it's actually it's pretty amazing. It's amazing.
I gotta admit, Roger Goodell has a very nice basement. Can we all agree on that?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I mean
I want that basement. I love my basement, but I want that basement.
I don't even have a basement.
Man.
Well, it looks like I got to go build up myself a new basement. Now I have all this free time in my hands.
Word.
But yeah. Anyway, what do you think about the picks that have been made? I would say they're pretty much standard. What do you think?
Well, you figured Cincinnati was taking a quarterback, and
Oh, we all knew he was.
We
We all
come on.
know Burrow was going to Cincinnati. We all knew that.
It was Burrow for sure, and he's a stud, and he's going to be a stud for Cincinnati. I really hope it works out for them. They deserve every little bit of it. You know, they've had all those years, Dalton, and not really getting the job done. Now they really have a chance to start over and rebuild with this guy. So I'm thrilled for them. And of course, we gotta get to our teams, Bill.
Okay, for those of you who don't know us, I feel like this is a weird thing. It's like we're like catching up with those we know, and we're like introducing ourselves to those we don't know.
Yeah, so we're based out of New York State, so
We're not going to tell you where we live, because then you'll try to hunt us down.
yeah, sure.
I don't care. Come find me.
Yeah, but
Because at the time of colleges, we had angry mobs in front of the studio. Remember?
Yeah.
So just a bit of a background. Bill and I, we're Yankees fans, obviously, but then we cheer for a team that unfortunately does not play in our state, which is kind of a bummer. But I'm a Jets fan. Bill's a Giants fan. He's rocking the Giants stuff.
Hey, NFL draft, I think it's fairly appropriate.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have Patchy, who really only cheers for the Knickerbockers in this state.
As I tell everybody, I'm a suffering Knicks fan.
Yeah.
And tell us your baseball and football teams, Patch.
All right. I'll rock off starting. Fight finished. Go Nats.
Yeah.
And then good
Pack
Pack go.
For the Nationals. Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you. Honestly, I know before we get back to the NFL draft, that was a stressful week for me.
Mm-hmm.
That was a stressful week. After being up 2-0 and then dropping the next 3, then Game 6 with all what happened in that. But then to come back in Game 7, time.
With the NFL draft?
Yeah.
And then for hockey, I'm a north of the border kind of guy with the Winnipeg Jets. And that wraps up my teams.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's Yankees, Giants, Rangers, Knicks. I'm not really hugely into the Knicks, but I'll watch. College football.
You ain't missing much.
College football, go Irish. I'm a Notre Dame fan.
Yeah. I'm not really into the college scene, but, you know, like, I'll watch it from time to time because my dad's a college fan. He went to Michigan, so that's a plus. So we're a D1 family.
But anyway, what I'm saying is the picks. We all know Burrows was going to Cincy.
Right.
What else? Sorry, my internet's a little weird today.
It's all right. Good.
Actually, it's always weird, so.
Well, I mean, I could certainly talk about the Jets pick. They picked 11 for Mekhi Becton, someone that I think is needed, someone on that offensive line that could protect Darnold, because let's be honest, last year Darnold was a disaster, and it wasn't necessarily because of him. It was because, one, of the head coach, which we will get to that later, and stuff. But two, the fact that there was no proper protection for him. Like, he had a tough time, being in that pocket. So now that they're bringing all that to him and they're ensuring that he's going to have their season, I'm very thrilled with what the Jets have done so far. We got a couple, wide receivers there. You got a couple of defensive backs. I'll take it. I'm thrilled. Patchy, I know your Packers have also been doing some retooling in the past couple of years.
Yes, I'm happy about our pick so far. Getting a quarterback. I know a few of my friends that are Indy fans were mad at me because they wanted Jordan Love, but I'm happy because now we can sit back for a couple seasons and hopefully take after AR when AR decides to retire.
Because think about this. Aaron Rodgers was Brett Favre was a year younger than Aaron Rodgers is now when the Packers drafted Aaron Rodgers.
We all know how that turned out.
So now, do you think pretty much we're getting, what's his face, Rodgers' successor?
Hopefully, man out of Utah State, 60 touchdowns, 29 INTs. I'm happy for it. Some good stats. I know it's a 50-50 kind of thing, but still.
I like Aaron Rodgers, but he's what, 37?
36.
Okay, 36. Sorry. He's 36, but in football years, that's like,
if we're talking football years, Tom Brady's old.
He is. We'll get to him a little later. Oh, I can't wait till we get to that. I'm like really excited to get to that. But anyway.
And then, we took running back Jay Dillon with our second pick, and then Dagaga. I know I probably butchered his last name, but that's Cincinnati, the tight end.
The hockey names back when we were in college. Remember?
Oh, that was a good time. But then taking a tight end, we needed a tight end because I got rid of Jimmy Graham.
Right.
Which I was a little upset because I like Graham. But other than that, I'm liking our picks so far.
Okay, now can we move on to my team?
Let's do it.
Do we need to discuss them?
Okay. From the University of Georgia, the New York Giants got Andrew Thomas in the first round, which so far I must say I'm liking what we're getting because what we're getting is basically what we need. We need an offensive line to protect Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones.
Did you really just say that?
Yes, I did.
He's trying to trademark that term, Danny Dimes. Kind of dumb.
You know who also hates him being called Danny Dimes, Patchy? You know who hates that?
What, Ross?
No, my dad.
Oh.
The one and only Papa Murph.
Yeah, great man.
He hates me when I'm watching, like, okay, let's go, Danny Dimes. Like, oh God, please stop calling him that. It's stupid. My dad is a huge Giants fan, so.
Right.
I went to a Giants game last season.
What was that?
I went to a Giants last season and had fun.
Was it the Packers game or?
No, I went to the Giants-Bills game. I went in Packer stuff. Got made fun of. It was fun. Giant fans are going, oh, you're too early for this game. I'm like, yeah, but I'm here for today.
Oh, it's all good-natured fun.
Yeah.
We like good-natured fun, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
We
like
all do.
quick tangent.
Best part about that Giants-Bills game was the fact that Josh Allen went off. So.
Yes, it was a great
Is there any
thing.
Bills fans jumping on tables?
No.
I know a couple of Bills fans that certainly should have been.
Before we get back to this, I actually have a buddy who went to school up in Buffalo, and he lives up there now. He's working there. And every time, he's my neighbor. He's like one of my best friends. Like every time he comes home for like the holidays or something, he's like, Bill, you got to come up to Buffalo this year. You got to come to a Bills game.
Mm-hmm.
A Bills game atmosphere is so much fun.
I
keep saying I'm gonna go, but I never do.
Let's do it.
I gotta make plans. If football even happens this year, I gotta make plans for this crap. I would love to go there. I heard they're a blast.
That's a fun time to be fun for tailgating. I'll tell you what.
Hey, if we ever go to a Bills game, any of us, Pat, would you jump on a table with me?
Sure, Bill.
Reg, you in?
I'm in. I'm just not going to do all that crazy stuff.
You're not going to jump on a table with me?
No, I'm trying not to hurt myself.
I'd probably hurt myself because, I hurt myself when I get up from this chair. So,
I'm a daredevil. I'll take the risk.
what was that,
Bill?
Patch?
I'm a daredevil. I'll take the risk. I'll jump a ladder through a table.
Although the member of the Bills Mafia is great, but I'm not willing to party that much to risk my life. So the hard pass.
Risk your life. You might break something, but it's all worth it. Is it worth it, Patch?
That's why you're breaking a table. You're not breaking yourself.
You know what? I think opening up a table store in Buffalo is like a gold mine.
Maybe.
Okay, so anyway, back to the draft. Second round, Giants got Xavier McKinney from Alabama, who's a safety.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, I'm going round by round here.
It's fine.
You guys know how I am.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I tend to be very AR sometimes. Huh. Did they pick this round, the third round, the Giants? I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Matt. Oh, that was last night. We got Matt Pert from UConn.
It's also some of his highlights. He's actually he seems pretty cool.
Can you repeat that, please? You said that again, Reg?
He said he was.
I've seen some of his tape. It's not that bad.
It was a tackle, and it's still going on as of now, so there might be stuff,
Yeah, the Jets just took a running back a while back, so
Yeah, and the Giants
a
got
little more cushion for Le'Veon. So I'll just say
Devarnay Holmes, the cornerback from UCLA.
All right.
And right now, Baltimore's on the clock.
I got the draft on right now. I'll admit it.
What was that?
I said I got the draft on. I'm watching.
Yeah, where I am, I don't have a television. You know, maybe I could just slam it on my computer. Yeah, this is what you're tuning in, folks. 3 people watching the draft.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, because it's just a thrilling idea to see something of a sporting event going on. This is something that we all miss, and so I can say this for all sports fans. When you have the draft on, it brings some sense of normalcy, which is hard to say, in hard times like this. So, I'm enjoying every moment of the draft. Even if it's not the traditional draft that we know of.
But you know what? Kudos to Vegas, though, because first they got theirs taken away because of all this, but they said they're going to have it back. They said they're going to have the Vegas is going to get another chance in 2022.
Yeah, I think it's a couple years from now, which is a nice gesture from the NFL. I think that was totally
Good job, Roger Goodell. Good job.
Yeah.
He's finally useful for something.
Yeah, and then of course Vegas is getting a football team. How about the
Raiders?
Finally,
That's a beautiful stadium right there.
It is gorgeous. I'll say that.
When I was out in Vegas last year, I got photos of the stadium being built. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Right at the end of that strip in Las Vegas. So I'm really happy.
Oh, that's going to bring in so much more money.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been begging for a team in Vegas for a long time, dude. Like Vegas sports is, has a huge chance, and we saw it with the hockey, and now we're going to see it in football. So I'm pumped. I'm really pumped.
Think baseball is going to be next in Vegas?
I mean, they have a minor league team, but I hope they go to the majors. That'll be also really cool. I would say more basketball.
Basketball is going to be first, then MLB.
Yeah, because I feel like they could really thrive with the basketball team there. I mean, they had a WNBA team, but an NBA team.
So much more.
I could see them thriving with basketball.
So yeah, that's so. Are we all satisfied with what we're getting so far with the draft or no?
Absolutely.
I totally am. I'm fine with it.
Did you see with the Giants on the New York Post? There was a picture of Joe Judge and his dog Abby, and he was saying something like the dog knows more than me or something like that.
That's hilarious.
And then everybody was that. And then when they were showing the home of Joe Judge, they're like, "Where's Abby? Where's Abby?"
Mm-hmm.
Wow, the dog is now more popular than the coach.
Right.
If the Giants suck this year, I think we should just appoint Abby as head coach. I'm sure she'll know what she's talking about.
And Jason Garrett.
Oh, God. Hopefully, good thing he's just an offensive. That he's in the good thing he's a coordinator, not the head coach, or I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll thrive in that role, and I think, and I'm actually starting to grow on Joe Judge. Before I was kind of questioning the decision to hire him, since he's not really well known. But now that I sort of see how he is and the culture he wants to bring, I think that he's going to be doing really good for you guys. I really think that the Giants got a gem on their hands in Joe Judge. I hope I'm right, because
I know you were you about to say something earlier about what's his face, Adam Gase, the head coach of the Jets?
I wasn't going to really talk about him much because there's nothing to talk about. He stinks.
He kind of sucks. We'll just agree on that one.
Awful.
I just want to say this thing before we move on. I wanted to tell you this, but we had to go back to the draft for something. I have a friend from New Paltz.
Right.
His name is Vasilios. Vasilios, if you're listening, shout out, bud. He is a huge Jet fan, so I think you and him would get along just fine.
Okay.
Like, when you meet him in public, he is like the most mild-mannered guy you'll meet. But on Facebook.
He's chill, essentially.
What'd you say?
Like, he's chill.
When the Jets are losing, he's like, "Oh my God, we need to fire Adam Gase."
I think all Jet fans are saying that. Well, not all, but a lot of them.
And listen, Bud, if you're listening, I'm not making fun of you, but I would love to be a fly on the wall when you're watching the Jet games in your house.
Of course.
It's probably like you. You're screaming at the TV.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I've been with the Giants this year too. I've been screaming at the TV.
Yeah. Well, I haven't screamed much because there's no one. I work for their network, and two, there's really no reason to. It's like it's all predictable with the Jets at this point.
Patch, do you scream at the TV when the Packers are losing?
No, I don't. I just learned to keep myself in a calm state of mind.
But I think with me, it's predictable at this point. The Giants, when they lose, it's like, you know what? It's not even worth screaming anymore.
I will say, when I was at that Bills game, and once the Bills are getting away, that stadium just out. They all just left. And it just shows how some fans are. Mm-hmm. If you want to consider them fans, you stay till the end. You don't leave when you're down by 30.
No, yeah, I agree. You stay from coin toss to the last play. Mm-hmm. But to be fair, some people leave because getting out of that stadium is a total bitch.
That's why we took a bus over from the one parking lot. So much easier.
We really need to get a train station from like New York City to like directly to MetLife because they already have a train there, right?
Well, I mean, there's no direct train, but
there should be.
You have to transport to one of the Jersey stations before you can go off to the Meadowlands because it can only go to that one station in Jersey. Go to and from. There's no direct train. It'll be cool there at a direct train. but that's not the case.
Yeah, but there should be a train from Grand Central to MetLife.
Grand Central, MetLife, Penn Station, MetLife. It's
MTA, if you're listening to this podcast, which I doubt they are, they might, who knows?
Yeah.
When this whole thing is over, you better consider the train station from Grand Central to MetLife. You better consider it, and we will advise you on that. We have no engineering experience, but we will glad to give you our opinions. Do you think they'll hire us for that?
No.
Patch, you think they'll hire us for that?
No, not a slight chance.
Yeah, they have, engineers with their PhDs. They don't want 3 random guys in New York who do a sports podcast. Okay, whilst we're on the NFL topic, I think we need to talk about a very important subject that people have been talking about for the past couple days. It started last month and then evolved.
I was so close up my position.
You all know what I'm talking about. And before I go on, my friend Christine, who is a huge Pats fan, when I posted that we were coming back, she commented on our Facebook. She goes, "Oh, I can't wait. I'm sure you have. I'm curious to see what you think about with the NFL." And you know what she's talking about.
TB12.
TB12 is gone, and he has moved to Tampa.
TB is now in TB.
Exactly. And,
I
that
was
actually happened.
so close.
He actually announced he was leaving on my birthday.
Oh, how ironic.
And my good friend, he actually texted me. He goes, "Happy birthday, Bill. # bye Brady."
Well, this is actually hits me a lot, and I'm like super excited. Hits me more than these 2 bozos here.
Would you please explain to the class why?
Because Tom Brady played in the division, so I actually had to watch him, twice a year, play the Jets, and almost every time he smacked them around. So the fact that I no longer get to play him, it's thrilling. It's thrilling to know that from now on, this division is going to be between Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Jets, and Bills. And who knows, now that Tua's here, maybe Tua, when you go to the Dolphins. So, I am so thrilled that now we have a chance to actually make the division competitive and not a landslide victory for the Patriots.
So
thrilled. Can't wait.
So now do you think, before we go on to that question, and also they got a retired player from New England, Rob Gronkowski. Gronk.
No, yeah, that wasn't a real retirement. Everyone knew that.
That's a sabbatical.
Yeah.
And listen, as much as I hate the Patriots.
He called it a retirement. It was not. And yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
As much as I hate the Patriots, I do like Gronk.
I love Gronk.
Gronk's a good guy. Good guy. Very reasonable. And he connects with fans a lot. He connects with pretty much all fans.
And he seems like a nice guy, too.
Mm-hmm.
But now this is going to ask the big question, though. We're really going to be seeing something here.
Right.
From years of watching sports, you probably all have heard the old saying, one player doesn't make a team.
Right.
But now we get to show, does one player really make New England? Like, Tom Brady was the poster child for New England for the past, how many years he was there?
It was 20 years. And
for the past 20 years, Tom Brady was basically the face of the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, look, it really depends on how you view it. Is it a Tom Brady special, Is it Bill Belichick's best, or is it a duo? Is it a true duo with Belichick and Brady?
Why do you think Tom Brady left? Let's open the floor here.
Well, I mean, he's always. You can tell this day was gonna come like soon, because him and Bill have been there for so long that sometimes your egos get in the way, and now.
Do you think him and Belichick were?
They were collided. They absolutely were. All those reports coming out of Foxborough that there was a rift between them, all of them confirmed. It was bound to happen, and I'm glad that they were able to mutually part ways. Brady and the organization. I'm glad that they were able to do it. It's probably better for them, and I'm curious to see how Tom Brady really does in Tampa Bay. I think he has a resurgence, a huge resurgence, because he had a bad. I mean, it was an okay season. It wasn't like really, really bad, but he wasn't that good. Not as good as he used to be.
Pat, you have anything to say on this matter?
Him leaving New England is him going out to prove that he can do it on his own, that he doesn't need Belichick.
Yeah,
he's going out to prove that, hey, I can go to this team, bring him to the playoffs, and hopefully bring home another Super Bowl. You got to look at it that way.
But how much you want to bet Robert Kraft was probably on his knees begging Brady, please stay in New England, please stay in New England.
No,
he probably
was.
He probably preferred for him to stay, but probably understood that if he wanted to go, that he should pursue it. Yeah, I think he probably would have been a little more understanding with that.
But because again, and now this really answers a really curious question. Mm-hmm. Does one player really make a team? If this NFL season, Brady's in Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. Let's hypothetically say Brady and Gronk, boom, Tampa Bay does great. They win the Super Bowl. New England goes down the shitter.
Right.
Is that really going to prove that, hey, Tom Brady...
Well, I don't...
Was that franchise?
I really don't know, because first things first, Tom Brady has always been... He's always been very acknowledging when he says that this team that is how they got over the hump all those times. Like, he always gives credit to his teammates. Like, he never gives credit to only himself, which is kind of crazy, because he should take a lot of credit for himself, because he's done such amazing things. But he always gives credit to his teammates. So I don't know. I certainly don't think one person makes a team, but you can argue that Tom Brady makes a lot of players a lot better than what they usually are. So I'll give him that for sure.
Or what if this happened? What if Tom Brady becomes Michael Jordan? And I don't mean Chicago Bulls Michael Jordan. I'm talking Washington Wizards Michael Jordan.
Who knows?
You're going to see. Who knows is right. But I could see Tom Brady being like Brett Favre. Go to a different team and succeed.
Anything could happen. I don't have a crystal ball. But yeah, I think he's only going to say he's going to play in the NFL for like another 3 years.
What, 42 now?
So, yeah. And how do you think Gronk's going to do in Tampa now that he's reunited with Brady?
Well, I always think about players like Le'Veon Bell, athletes like Alex Rodriguez, who took a season off, whether it was via punishment, whether it's because they just wanted to take a year off. And think about that, and think about the possibility of people getting stronger just because they had that year off. I think that would be the case for Rob Gronkowski. I really think. I mean, he's done WWE and all that stuff, but like taking a year off from football, like actually training for football, and coming back to play football, I really think he's going to have a big year. I really do. And I think he's in a good, not only is he physically ready, but he's mentally ready. Like he has the mindset to go out and he's hungry for another championship. So I really think that there's that chance that he could come out and he will probably be as good or even better than what he was.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see. Like he could make players better, and this probably would be great for Gronk, especially that he's reunited with Brady. We'll see what happens. Watch what would happen.
Yeah, well, Gronkowski only plays for Brady, and that's special. That's huge. And if you're a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, like you gotta be jumping on your feet right now. You gotta be doing a lot of things. You know, have a lot of emotions, a lot of happy ones, knowing that Rob Gronkowski and Brady are back together.
You know, because I'm curious. I have some friends who are Patriot fans, and I've been looking on NFL memes. They have the team transfer forms. Did anyone see this?
Yeah. That joke always goes around and a new player goes somewhere.
I wonder if my Patriot fan friends are going to become Bucks fans.
I will say, it's going to be interesting for the Bucks this year. I can see them going 11-5.
Honestly, first of all, I think the Bucks will be much better than that. But if those Patriots fans that you're talking about, if they're really fans,
they'll stay.
They will stay with New England through the ups and downs. They wouldn't just move wherever Tom Brady goes. But that just, I mean, there's no rule, obviously. But if they were a true loyal fan, they would stay New England.
Yeah, I just want to say this. How funny would it be? Brady's in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay shits the bed again.
Mm-hmm.
And New England wins a Super Bowl without Brady.
Hey, that would be...
That far-fetched situation would show something. It would show...
If that were to happen, God bless Bill Belichick.
Because it would show that New England could say, see, Tom, we didn't need you.
Yeah, and it proves that maybe Bill's a better coach than a lot of people. And I always... he's a great coach. By far, a great coach. That's not... I never thought that he wasn't a great coach.
In our generation,
this was
as much as
really
it pains me to say, Bill Belichick is probably like the best coach of our generation.
Yeah.
He is.
He is.
He's like the Vince Lombardi of our generation.
Or he can just be Bill.
He's the Bill Belichick of this era.
Or remember, he was also a former Giants coach.
Way back in the heyday.
Yeah.
Bill Parcells.
Yeah, he was Bill Parcells' assistant coach.
They won a Super Bowl together.
2.
Mm-hmm.
They won 2 together.
And was in line to be the Giants coach for a little bit before.
Yeah, he was willing to give up like the last 2 years of his contract to go be a Giants coach.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would have. I'm sure he would grow on me. But
yeah.
I remember you were texting me saying, "Are you ready for Brady to be a Giant?"
I kept saying Miami. I had the right state, just the wrong part of the state.
I have to tell you, the day of the New England Tennessee game, I was actually at the Foxwoods Casino. This was actually the day I was leaving. The day of the game, everybody's walking around in their Brady jerseys.
Right.
And I remember I saw this one guy with a Titans jersey on. I said, "You're a brave man," and he laughed. And it's funny because that was the day I was leaving. I was watching the game with my dad and my brother, and Tennessee won. And I said, okay, that place is probably riding right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing we got out of there. All right, anything else, guys?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
how's your quarantine ventures at home, Patchy?
My quarantine at home?
Yeah.
I'm not really in quarantine. I'm in quarantine 1 day a week. I work in a grocery store right now. So I'm out in the front.
Essential worker. Okay.
I'm one of those essential workers. I get to work in a grocery store. So
See, we're so out of touch. You know, we had no idea. I haven't really seen Patchy in a while, so this is like really refreshing to actually.
Yeah. No. Last May I graduated from Marist. Just a little catch up. Graduated from Marist
College. Hey.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
My dream school. That was my dream school before it was too expensive and Oswego came in. So
yeah. Well, fun about that. I went 3/4 time there, so my tuition went right in half. So I left there. Not a lot, but get back on track.
Yeah.
Graduated from there. Over the summer, I worked for the Renegades. If you know who the Renegades are, Hudson Valley Renegades are, and I live is a minor league baseball team affiliated with the Bay Rays. So I get to work with them for now, which is fun. Lots of fun. But during this quarantine, it's a tough question. I haven't got any thing like with MLB. You can't really start minor league baseball without the MLB, even if it's like the Renegades who are season. But hopefully it gets started soon because I want something to do during the summer, not just go to work and come home. But it's definitely interesting during this time because I go to work. I have to clean my register after every order. I have to wear a mask, wear gloves, wash my hands every hour.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, people are crazy there, huh?
Yeah. Well,
I've only had 2 people flip out on me in the time. But other than that, when they're ranting at me, it just goes right over my. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Is there toilet paper there?
No. Very, very few, if there's any.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm doing pretty good during this time.
It's dope. And hey, look, first of all, to all the essential workers, whether you're a nurse, whether you're a doctor, ambulance, firefighter, police, grocery store workers, delivery people, all you essential people, we appreciate you. So, Patsy, thank you for your service, man. I know you don't get enough credit because people.
I'm just a small part of the puzzle. It's the bigger heroes are the working in the hospitals. They're the bigger heroes. Save lives.
100%.
And it's just, God bless them. They're really, as they say, they're going out to work so we can stay home. Listen, I don't like to get on my soapbox right now, but please, unless you really, really have to go out, stay home.
Just don't go to the I agree with that. Just don't go to the grocery store because you're bored. Come on, be smarter. The sooner you be smarter, the sooner we get life back to normal. Even if life being back to normal is the middle of July.
Yes.
Please, just stay home.
I haven't really left my house.
I go out for walks and stuff, which
I don't even do that.
After this, it's a beautiful day out.
I have no reason. I mean, I want to walk, but I can also just exercise at home. So that's what I've been doing.
But
I work out with my mom, which is a very interesting experience. Working out with your mom.
And listen,
not just any mom.
And listen, on the sports topic, listen, we all miss sports, but
we all do.
The quicker we stay home and get this over with, the quicker we have him back.
Yeah, my job relies on sports beyond, so it's hard. It really is hard, but we get it. But this is more important, and someday things will get back to the way it was. Gotta remain patient.
Man,
I was
Yeah,
actually
part of
supposed to go to the
that's-
Yankee game last week, so
Yeah, we'll go, Bill. We're gonna go to Yankee. Believe me.
We will.
I'm down.
We're
I'm
shooting
free.
for.
Yeah.
I will
we're shooting
invite
for
a
opening day.
certain friend of ours. You guys know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to give out his name online because he'd come after me.
Mm-hmm.
You all know who we're talking about.
Oh, if he was here right now, I would yell his name. For all, Wolf, Wolf, meow. Wolf,
Yeah, we
Wolf,
should get him on one of
meow.
these days. What do you think?
Nah.
Hey, look, he's very knowledgeable about hockey.
Yes, he is. He is a very knowledgeable hockey guy.
Yeah, so
he loves that sport, and I know it's killing him that he's not gonna be able to watch his Rangers try to make the playoffs.
So anyway,
Definitely.
I think we're okay. I want to apologize to our audience if we seemed a little unstructured, but once we
Yeah,
It's the first episode.
we're getting
Yeah,
all
Rome
the
wasn't-
out.
Rome
working
wasn't
out the
built in a
kinks.
day. Rome wasn't
Working
built
out
in a day.
Yes.
Because I think it was easier when we were back at the college because we were all in the studio together.
All in the studio. You can always, excuse me. When we're in the studio, we were beating off each other like no tomorrow. But we'll get this figured out.
Yeah, like
Yep, and
as St. Thomas Aquinas says, patience is a virtue. Please have it with us.
Yeah, and of course, if you're having issues with the video, we apologize for that too. But we're trying our best here. So
We're
Yeah,
going to
we're
get that
gonna be-
figured out as well.
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel now. It's called Sports Insanity Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. Give us your thoughts. And
Give us topics to talk about in the next episode.
we'll give you there'll be an email address there, but here's the thing. Business inquiries only, please.
okay.
Or, if you just want to give us suggestions and stuff, that's cool too.
Yeah. Or I love it. I want to start interacting with people. So that would be pretty cool to do.
Yeah, just, interact with, no, I meant the email address, not the comments in this video.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, Reg, I didn't mean that.
I mean, no, we'll if you have a question for us on the comments in the YouTube page, we'll gladly answer.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Gladly answer them.
We'll be more than happy to answer that for you.
Right.
Yeah, we will be more than happy to answer anything. And also, we're going to be putting on some podcast platforms. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I set up a Podbean. If those you, so that'll be our temporary home. But
We'll see what happens.
Once we start getting our shows up and running, we'll hopefully be on many other podcasting sites.
Yeah,
That's
and the
the plan.
frequency, I think we're thinking about like once a week, but we're going to see, again, once sports gets back, we'll
definitely.
we'll have
Take
more
your
of a
time.
grasp and, follow
Yes.
us on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll get a Twitter up soon. Follow us on that. We'll keep you posted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, next,
Maybe an Instagram.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to see that friend of mine that I mentioned earlier, see if I could reach out to him, see if he'd like to come on and talk about the impact of this situation on sports.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that would be a fantastic interview.
We'd love to have him on.
Always welcome. Open arms.
Yeah, hey, listen.
Open doors, open arms. I'll give you a hug if you want one. But it'll be virtual.
We are non-judgmental. We welcome everybody.
Of course.
Except if you watch curling, we might have to do something about that.
Whoa. Do not disrespect curling.
What's wrong with curling?
Curling is a fantastic sport to watch.
Oh, I remember that back in the old days. It's like we're a classic rock band and we're bringing back all the old hits.
No, the greatest thing ever on our radio show was when I think it was me and Nick, or was it me and Adam? But we hacked the coding to your computer and we changed everything to fake classes.
That's amazing.
Oh, yes,
that was the best thing ever, and I played along so well with it with your dog physics.
I remember that. That was wonderful. That was so awesome, and I fell for it.
That's
and
the
I remember
greatest.
one of the classes too. Dog physics.
Dog physics.
That was like my favorite. You can see we have a lot of history on this one, on this podcast.
There's many histories here.
Yeah. So again, this is our first one. If it seemed a little clunky, we're just trying to get all the bugs out now. Please forgive us.
Yep.
Once we start becoming more frequent, we're gonna. I think we'll have a more structured and a more stronger show. But it's great to be back. It is really great to be back.
It is definitely great to be back.
Yes.
So
Totally great.
On YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and what was the podcast for, Matt, again? SoundCloud?
No.
Podbean.
Podbean. Sounds like a coffee brand for a Keurig.
Follow us on that. And I just want to give two quick shout outs, if that's okay. First of all, to my very dear friend Justin. Today's his birthday. Justin, if you're listening, happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah, my man.
And also, this is a coworker of mine and a friend of Patchy. You know who I'm talking about.
He's a great friend.
Friend of mine too.
Oh,
his
known
name
for
is
many
Michael.
years.
He was on Wheel of Fortune last night.
Okay.
And he won 80 something grand?
82,365, I think. Solved the big puzzle at the end. As soon as I saw this post, I'm like that. I was like, he made it to the bonus round and won big. The kid is smart with Wheel of Fortune.
He did fantastic.
The dude is smart with Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know I'm good at certain things, but I was never good at Wheel of Fortune. I'm better at Jeopardy.
Game shows are amazing. So a lot of people who are good at game shows. I'm good at Family Feud, but people who are good at Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy,
yeah, my grandmother, God rest her soul, she always had told me, you should go on Jeopardy. But
fun thing about Jeopardy, I'll be watching with my mom, and the question will come up, so and so is so and so in this, and I'll go, oh, it's that. Mine goes, how do you know that? I'm like, I just know it.
Yeah. So anyway, Mike, congratulations, well job,
Congrats, my friend. Much love.
You deserve that. I'm really happy for him.
I'm happy for him too.
So
I'm gonna ask him for a loan.
Mike, if you're listening, we're just kidding.
Nah, Mike, I love you, man.
Please spend it wisely.
Definitely.
Okay, so guys, again, thanks for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Blackbean.
Podbean.
And we will see you guys again very soon. Peace out, guys.
Deuces.
Yo.